Michael and Catherine, got the camera on.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
You know what we're going to do before we pack up and go back to Boston and go back to Disney World?
What? We're going to go to a comic book store.
Well, that maybe, I suppose.
That
But
too.
That too, but what we're going to do right now, I'm going to go outside and take some pictures of our garden for Grandpa and Grandma's.
Okay.
Because, to show them what we've done, because it's been a year since they've been here.
Mm-hmm.
Would one of you like to give me the guided tour?
She can.
What?
No, I don't want to. Okay, fine, I will.
Okay. All right, I'll stop and I'm going to put some shoes on and we'll go and, can you show me like how the garden was set up this year?
Okay, sure.
Okay. See you in a second.
Okay.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Dad.
You going to give us the tour?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, why don't you go out on the lawn? I'm going to, don't get too far from the camera so we can still hear you.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me what that new fence out there is.
Oh, up there?
Yeah. Okay, now,
Have you turned on and seen it yet?
yeah, first off, this is what, June 7th,
Yeah.
1992,
Yeah.
the day before we go to Disney World, right?
Right.
And we're just taking some pictures here so Grandpa and Grandma can see what the farm looks like.
Right.
Okay, so I don't think they've seen how we tore out the blueberries and put in an herb garden. You want to explain that?
Mean the blackberries.
What did I say?
Blueberries.
Yeah, blackberries. Okay. So up against the west side of the barn we used to have blackberries and now we have, what do we have, Michael? An herb garden. Okay, you want to explain it? See the trellis there on the barn wall. What'd you find, a thorn?
I don't know.
You didn't step on a bee, did you?
No.
Okay, well, while he's pulling out whatever.
No, I wasn't pulling out. Just something you just tore the skin on the bottom of my foot.
All right. There's a trellis that's going to have something on it at some point. And
this is just basically stuff.
herbs.
Yeah.
Herbs. See how nice the barn looks with shutters on it on the windows. All right, so that's in over there. Well, why don't you show where the bench is and explain what's going to be over there?
Okay, well, why don't you come over here?
Well, actually, before we do that, Michael, just where so the camera can hear you, talk about the berries down south. That's close enough.
Okay, over there,
Over there, let me go look at it. Okay, go ahead.
we got new fences.
Yeah.
There are berries. Strawberries, asparagus, blueberries, blackberries.
Blue raspberries, yeah, and we even planted some corn there, didn't we?
I think so. It's sweet.
And some wheat, some Nebraska wheat and some corn, but the crows ate the corn.
Well, yeah. Well, Mom said they were doing a good, because she said she was planting half, which was supposed to plant half an acre of wheat and like 4 months.
Yeah, and then the deer ate the wheat. Now, what are those sort of yellow patches of straw by that old apple tree? Way down south.
Oh, right, right. That's our orchard.
New orchard. We planted, what, about a dozen trees?
Yeah.
What? Do you know what we planted? Peach and hazelnut and walnuts and,
All that sort of good stuff.
you know, cherries and apples. And so from the swimming pool, right?
Right.
Which is where I'm standing, that's how it looks now when you go south. We have the original garden down in here. And we've got now the berry patch over there, and we've got the orchard behind it, right? Now if you run over to the barn, explain that bench. Talk real loud.
Okay, well this bench basically is, okay, this is the bench, and then there's going to be a shower stall here, and then the glass is going to just come out to this sonotube, so, and then the door's going to be pretty much where I'm standing.
It's going to be an outdoor shower, right?
Yeah.
Okay. With glass that we saved when we tore out the skylight in the house in Boston, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Michael, let me turn it off and then you can show Grandpa and Grandma how the garden's set up this year.
Yeah, okay. Okay, here we have bugs, but, seriously, we have whatever this is, and then this is the strawberries,
Yeah. They're really looking nice this year. This is our first year, or second year actually. But this is the way Margaret thought the garden this year, didn't she?
Yeah.
She's got little patches like we did last year.
And then here we've got the bees.
Yeah.
And here we have the peonies.
Yeah, those are the peonies we got from Nebraska last October. I did when I was out there. And they all grew. We've made, out of all of those roots, we made,
And then this is the potatoes.
yeah,
We healed them today.
yeah, we got a nice potato patch.
Rhubarb. This is the grapes. Those are something. This is more of an herb garden. This is also potatoes. This is our rustic little bench.
It's
Sorta
like,
thing.
that's the only piece of wood that we didn't split this winter, right?
Right.
So we saved the very last piece and the biggest piece of wood and we made a seat out of it. We were trying to keep the bark on it. It looks prettier with bark, Michael. Okay? Thanks. Okay. So there we have, you can see the rhubarb behind the fence. The tomatoes
All that good stuff.
we planted.
Mom's grass beds.
Yeah, there's eggplants and peppers and a little bit of everything, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's focus in on those peonies that we brought from Grandma McCorney's house. So when they get big, they'll be nice. There's a whole row of them. I'm doing it. And behind that is some of Margaret's grasses. So we'll have a 1-2 punch. We'll have the peonies in the front and the native grasses in the back. And there's kind of going to be a path leading between the two gardens. From the vegetable garden here to on the other side is the perennial garden. Oh, is there Margaret?
Yeah, she's right there.
Oh, wait, where is she? Oh, where are you going?
Dig up this maple tree to plant on the street.
Dig up the maple tree to plant on the street. Okay. All right, now that we're getting chewed alive by the bugs, I think we're going to quit this. What?
You know what was funny?
What was funny?
Last night, me and Mom were talking, and I asked her to tell me a story about
Stop.
I asked her to tell me a story about the her horse,
Mm-hmm.
and so then I must have eaten something at the Gilberts,
Mm-hmm.
and something didn't feel good,
Yeah.
and so Mom's telling me about her insect collection and her horse, and I go, Mom, I hate to break up this bonding moment, but I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay. All right, I'm going to turn this off. Stop. Say goodbye.
Bye.
So that's about it. There's where the shower stall is going to be again. Actually, now I'm going to go back up this way and look toward the house. That's the lilacs. They were blooming about a week ago. And show you what the house looks like now that we put the shutters back on it. That was our big project last fall. We got them painted this winter and we put them up about 3 weeks ago. So the house has now got shutters on all 40-some windows. That looks real pretty. And there's the perennial garden that's hanging right in front of the deck, and that's coming along fine for the second year. Whoop, whoop, Margaret's coming on with a maple tree. Where are you, Margaret? Oh, maple tree. This tree is going to be taken to Boston? Is that is a seedling maple tree?
That's one I got from the National Arbor Day Foundation.
Oh, okay.
I don't need another maple.
No, I think we have enough maples in New Hampshire. Think Boston needs a maple? Okay. We're getting close to leaving?
Yep.
Okay. Maple tree destined for Boston. Actually, here's another shot of the new berry patch over there by the Colemans and the new orchard trees behind it. And then I'll show you what the east of the barn looks like, where we had all that wood stacked from 2 years ago, which Michael and I moved under the barn this winter. And Margaret's planted another perennial garden against it, and you can also see what the barn looks like with all the shutters on it. There's shutters every place now. Hi, Catherine.
Hello.
I was just showing Grandpa and Grandma where we planted our new orchard and our new berry patch.
Oh, okay.
Are you walking out here with stockings?
Yep.
You're not going to go in the pool anymore?
No.
The big pool is quite nice. Okay. Wasn't for all the bugs eating me. Okay.
Bye.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
And this is just looking north again. I'm just going to look at the house if you're at all interested in seeing what it all looks like with the shutters on it again. Looks real pretty.
Ian, you want me to start that ball of laundry?
Yeah. Hi, Catherine. Want to look at the camera? What you doing? No bees in there, are there? There are no bees in there, are there? Okay.
If I find one, they will not be here.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the view we're going to have off the deck. In a few more years, when the orchard trees are blooming and the blackberries and raspberries are blooming, the herb garden is blooming, everything is blooming. Actually, what we've planted in the last 2 weeks, we've got about 150 berry bushes out there. Haven't finished the fence. There's going to be 4 more rows of the fence sort of right next to the one that's out there. So there'll be about, well, there'll be 4 runs of fence that we'll put the berries on. Okay, that's it.